Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Nisiri Missions. Once again, my name is Liz, and today I'm going to be focusing on the topic of albinos. I know in some part of the world they call them albinos as well. This is a very, very concerning um, topic for me. I originally wanted to talk about something else, but while I was preparing for that, I ran into quite some documentaries that really very that is really very concerning about these people, and I thought to address it as soon as possible. Again, I'm going to go into educating us on what albino is all about, if there's any form of treatment, and then we're going to dive down into the myths surrounding these people. So, who is an albino? Who is an albino and albino? So basically, people that refer to albinos are people that have lighter skin shade. Um, and that's usually because of lack of melanin. Now, melanin is responsible for the pigmentation of the skin and also of the hair, and also at times as well as the eyes as well. And these people tend to lack this pigment. That is why we see that they have a lighter form of skin, and also eyes and hair as well. And this is a genetic condition. It's an autosomal recessive condition, that is, um, individuals are carriers of this condition. And when an individual that is a carrier of this condition gets married to another individual that is also a carrier of this condition, and the reason why I'm emphasizing this is because we have parents that are black, and they have this child that has light complexion, and they are perplexed. And that's because they have this gene in them that they are carrying, that they are unaware of. Of course, they didn't get genetic testing to know what's going on. And when these parents come together, they stand a 1/4 chances of having a child with albino. And they have also, let's say they have 4 children, they stand a chance of having a child with complete lack of pigment, which is what we know as albino, and also two of the other children being carrier as well, and one child with regular genetic makeup. And this is very, very important for us to understand, because a lot of the parents are seeking answers, and also, to know what's going on and why do we have children that their skin color is different from them. And there comes the misconception of maternal infidelity and all of that. No, that is not true. This is genetic condition. And what happens is, because of the lack of pigment, um, these children tend to have problem with their skin. They tend to get skin burns because they don't have pigment. What the melanin does is to protect the skin. Um, but because they do not have this pigment, then their skin becomes vulnerable. So when they go out in the sunlight for a prolonged period, they tend to get sunburn. And of course, they are prone to developing skin cancers, different kind of skin cancers, squamous cell cancers, basal cells, and the likes of it. And of course, their eyes also, they lack pigment in their eyes, and that's why we tend to see these children have vision problem. Some of them do have what we call strabismus, whereby you have the eyes are crossed, and some of them have nystagmus, whereby you have sudden you have the jerking of the eyeballs as well, among different other things. So, is this curable? No, it's not a curable. It's not curable, and what we can do is to help to prevent the sequelae from this lack of pigmentation. We can help by provision of for the eyes. We can help by provision of vision aid for those children. We can also help with providing larger prints, and in rural communities where all these things are not accessible and this child is in a school, the teachers can be educated to write in bigger prints on the chalk and the board for the children to be able to see. Put them in the front seats as well. In addition to that, regular eye care, visits to eye professionals to check their eyes as well is encouraged. And also for the skin as well, regular visits to their doctors. In addition to that, when they have to go out in the sun, to use sunscreens that will help protect their skin, and also to wear long sleeve and also colors that will help to repel the ultraviolet radiation from the sun. So these are ways that we can help these children or these people to go through to prevent the sequelae from being from lacking pigmentation. So now we're going to get down to the myth. But before we do that, I want to correct, I also wanted to state this. There's a difference between being an albino and also having vitiligo. Vitiligo is a different thing in total. Vitiligo is where you have the patchy hypopigmentation or depigmentation of the skin, and that is usually an autoimmune disease. So that's going to be another story for another day, but I just wanted to clarify. Now, people with albinos, yes, they could be associated with some syndromes like the Shediaki-Gashi syndrome, which is just a big name for immunodeficiency, whereby there is phagocytic dysfunction. The soldiers of the body are not functioning the way they should function. Thereby, these children are prone to, or these people are prone to having infection because their body is not able to fight infections the way it should be, in addition to other symptoms. But other than that, these people are able to live normal lifespan. They are regular humans like you and I. Nothing makes them different except the fact that they do not have they have complete lack of melanin to protect their eyes and their skin. So I'm just going to dive right away into the myth surrounding people with albino, which is very, 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 very heartbreaking. There are a lot of myths, a lot of misconception about these people. Um, there's there's a serious concern in some part of Africa where this, especially in the rural areas, where these children are being considered as gods. They are being they are being considered as they are cursed, or um, when you drink their blood, it can cure HIV, and it's really mind blowing the beliefs amongst the rural people um, about how the limbs. I saw videos of limbs of children being chopped off because they believe that their bones are part of ingredients um, that would concoctions that would make someone live longer, or that will bring good fortune. This is very, very, very horrific because these people they are humans like you and I. They are not in any way different, and this is, and I know that the international bodies have really focused on some part of Africa where these children have been discriminated, and the government in these countries have done putting a lot of effort, but we still have cases of insecurity among people with among albino people, for concern of their safety and for concerns of their life as well. And I think, and I know this is not a fight for the government alone. This is a collective effort. It is an effort of you and I. It is, we are their voices to speak up on behalf of them. Like I always say, you might not be an albino in this generation, but think about your next generation. You're not even sure if a career. Think about your generation, think about the next generation. So the voice that you put out today is the one that's going to keep speaking for those people, is the one that is going to keep that child in many generations after you're gone alive. So it's going to take our collective effort. This is not just governmental something to leave for the government alone to do. So I'm calling upon again on religious leaders, on traditional leaders, community leaders, uh, you know, to educate people in their various communities and rural areas, especially in places where internet is not accessible, so they really don't get to hear what we're saying or what we're advocating, that they understand that these people are humans like you and I, and this killing has to stop. This maiming has to stop. The witch doctors, the traditional doctors need to be properly educated um, as well. And also the parents of these children, they're calling for answers as well. They do not understand what's going on. They need to be educated. It's not because they did anything wrong. This is just in their genetic. This is in their genetic constitution, and also for the children, because these children are being stigmatized. I remember growing up back then in my country, Nigeria, these children are being called all kinds of names. Mr. White, Afiun Jeyo, a lot of names like that are quite derogatory. And we need to provide, psychological support for those children, mental health support. I mean, imagine if you're being discriminated, if you're not able to go to school, and it's just really overwhelming. And for the parents in rural areas, we need to make them understand that these children cannot afford to stay a long time on the fields, tending to the cattle, or tending to the farm, because of the risk of sunburn and also exposure. And again, coming down to the government, I know you guys have been doing a lot, but you need to do much more. Again, like I always say, it's not enough for you to pass the for you to pass the law. We need to make sure that these laws are being into effect. We need to make sure that everyone that is involved in this criminal offense is being properly prosecuted. And the other place where the government comes into play is the provision of adequate healthcare and also access to quality education for these children. It's no point being in a class when you cannot see. There is absolutely no point. So we need to train the teachers to be able to um, provide needs based on I mean, provide needs for these children as deemed fit. Again, this is going to be a collective effort. It's really mind-boggling. Just knowing that just because of the pigment of your skin, you cannot go out. Because of this pigment of your skin, you're not guaranteed that when you go out, you're not going to come back in safe. You're not guaranteed as a parent that someday your beautiful kid is going to lose their limbs just because somebody somewhere wants to make good fortune out of it. So this is a cry out to everyone. Please join us and be a voice to speak out for these children, to educate the community. When you have someone stigmatizing these children by calling them names You let them, you educate them and let them understand that is absolutely not correct. This is what this condition is all about. It doesn't make these children, the myths and the stigmas need to stop. It needs to stop. It's these children are not gods. They are not going to bring you no fortune. They are humans like you. They are humans like you. So once again, thank you very much. I hope that this will go a long way to I hope this video goes a long way and people are able to hear this voice. And I also call upon other people, other stakeholders, individuals, government, organizations to speak up, because this is something happening every day, every moment as I speak right now. An albino child is losing his or her limb to ignoramus. Thank you once again, and I'll see you again. Bye.